Hi everyone, so today I thought I will do one of those videos that I personally find very exciting. So I'm going to put a summer palette together to take when I'm going away. So I had this little cheapy palette for a while. I don't even remember whether I bought it online or at a physical shop, but basically it's one of those palettes that you stick your thumb in and then you can paint outside if you wanted to, and you know, that serves you as a nice little portable palette. It's super light, it's super I find it really neat and cute and tiny, and you know, I love the fact that you get 20 colors here, so wells for 20 colors, but essentially if you wanted to squeeze out more, you could just squeeze them out maybe even somewhere into one of those areas and then have even more colors, but then you also have this lovely space here to mix, and it's flat, and so yeah, I love it. And obviously being plastic, it means that anything that is quite staining, like phthalo blue, phthalo green, I would just try to avoid using these colors in this palette to avoid staining, but I'm sure there might be other colors that may stain the plastic, because plastic does stain. So, but having said that, I'm looking forward to filling up this palette today, and essentially I haven't even thought what colors I want, apart from knowing there are a couple of colors that I would like to include. So I want to just record this process and talk you through of how I pick colors for a specific palette. Now, the two palettes that I have been using the most lately are these two. So I put them together, I think last year, probably about a year ago or over a year ago, and I have really enjoyed them and I still love using them, but I want something new. I want to use some of the colors that I haven't used from my tube watercolor collection. So I have quite a few, and I decided to just switch them out and not think about any specific colors from these two palettes that I would like to include again. But what happened is that I have been filming a few tutorials for you, and I have been using this daisy dish, and a couple of the colors that I pulled out, I really fell back in love with them, or actually it reminded me how much I enjoy those colors, and so that's where it all came from. I decided to include those couple of colors, which is one of them is Quin Deep Gold, and the other one is Transparent Red Oxide. So I really enjoyed those. And then I thought there must be other colors that I really like. So when it comes to mini tubes, I keep my mini tubes in this little box, which is pretty much full by now. I could still fit in a couple, but then also a couple of these are almost empty. So these are my Daniel Smith, couple of the Winsor & Newton, and even the HWC, which are the Holbein Artist Watercolors. So that's predominantly Daniel Smith, however, and then I have the big tubes sitting in this palette, which is a couple of them are the Shanghai, yeah, the Shinhan art. Then majority are between Schmincke, Horadam and Daniel Smith. So these are the big ones. And also just now I found these on my desk, which I haven't used in a while, and I realized a couple of them I didn't even swatch out. So here I have these White Knights, which is the Quinacridone Red and Quinacridone Rose in tube. So my friend gave me these to try because White Nights came out with their watercolors in tubes. Previously they were only available in full pans, but now you can also buy them in tubes, so that's very exciting. I will see whether I will want to add any of these into my palette. I have also found these three, and these are the Potter's Pink, Sodalite Genuine, and Luna Blue, and I completely forgot to swatch them in my swatch book, so that's what I'm gonna do now. Besides that, there is also this little tube here of the Schmincke Horadam transparent orange. I have this watercolor in a pan and I absolutely love it. And I wonder what it's going to look like from the tube, because obviously they're a little bit fresher and always behave slightly different than from the pan. So if I love it from the half pan, I just wonder what it's going to be like from the tube. So let's start by just swatching a couple of these Daniel Smith. I'm just going to use this corner here. And I'm just wondering where I should squeeze them out to. I think I'm going to use my T-Rough palette here. So first goes this one. Schmincke Transparent Orange. Then we have White Nights Quinacridone Red. Quite sticky to the feel. And then we've got Quinacridone Rose. Oh, you need to open this one. So that's that, and then I have the three below. Oh, this is very sticky, this one. Oh, and it has separated. Okay. And then we have the blue, Luna Blue. Potter's Pink was just before. And finally, I have this one, Sodalite Genuine, also separated a little. Okay, so when they separate, what I would do personally is just take a little spatula and just mix the pigment back into it, and that's it. Just like that. You might lose a little bit of pigment that way, but at least you get a good result. And then I would do the same here. If you have a little spatula knife, it makes it very easy. Just mixes things in no time. Alright, so now then, what I'm going to do next is swatch them out. Okay, so we have, I'm going to add a little bit of water into these and also make sure I've got some water in my brush. Okay, so this one is quite, I would imagine if this one would dry, it wouldn't be easy to re-wet. So it's a watercolor that's best to use from the tube. So I'm not sure if I would want to include this one, to be honest, but having said that, it is a lovely color. So I'm just going to do a little swatch over here because I don't have that much space left.
Wanna move my feet, wanna drink my wine. Wanna move my feet, wanna drink my wine.
Alright, so I just quickly dried and titled them. Okay, so here they are. Potter's Pink, Luna Blue and Sodalite Genuine. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for the other 3 watercolors and come back and show you. Okay, so here is that transparent orange by Schmincke, and this is from the tube. And here it is from my palette from the half pan, which seems to be a little bit more organic in the color, but I think I just piled up a little bit too much of the pigment there because it's almost turning glossy, and that could be why this one is not as deep as the other one. So, but I still like it, and I think I will definitely include it. I haven't shown you actually those from Daniel Smith that I definitely want to include as a starting point. So these 3 will have to do, and I will have to pick a lemon yellow, and probably will go with this one just because it's finishing now. There's a little bit left, so I might just finish up the tube as well. So these 4 and the other orange I just showed you, they are basically already 5 colors, so I have 15 colors to pick. And now, as a little kind of sidetrack, I will actually swatch the other 2 from the Невская Palitra, and I think what I may do is swatch them next to one another. So this is the Quinacridone Red and Quinacridone Rose. So that's the rose, and where is the red? Here is the Quinacridone Red. So I will swatch them next to one another and see whether that's anyhow different, and I'll just show you in the end so that we don't waste too much time on this. Alright, so they are almost dry now, and so here you can see the Quinacridone Rose, and then above it it's so this one is from the pan, full pan, and the swatch above it is from the tube, and they look pretty much identical to me. And same thing here, so the Quinacridone Red, which was the new color for 2017, here is the swatch from the half, or the full pan, and then this little one beneath it is the tube one, and same thing, looks to me pretty identical, and I really love the Quinacridone Red, so I will definitely include it in my palette. Okay, let's do a little summary of all the colors we have so far. Okay, so here is my collection coming together a little bit. So first of all, lemon yellow. Let me just bring you back to lemon yellow just to show you what's going on here. Right, so we've got lemon yellow, which is this one here. It's a color that I really don't like on its own, but it's a fantastic color, and it's a color that you definitely need for mixing. So lemon yellow has to happen. However, I just realized that my Daniel Smith is literally, there's a drop left, and I would use it up like in a couple of days. So I don't want to run out of lemon yellow. So I will go with the one from Schmincke, which I have a whole tube of somewhere here. So there we go, lemon yellow. So I'll use that instead. And then for my, what's this New Gamboge doing? That's not New Gamboge. I needed Nickel Azo Yellow. Okay, so there it is. So Nickel Azo Yellow, that will have to happen. And then deep Quinacridone Deep Gold Transparent Red Oxide next to it, like so. Then I definitely wanted to have that Schmincke Orange that I have swatched. Let's have a look again at that. So it's this one here at the bottom. And then I obviously need some pinks and reds, and I decided to use that pink from Невская Palitra and use this Perylene Scarlet, which looks very different, by the way, as a swatch to this one here. It's my favorite red, and this is what it actually looks like when you paint with it, as opposed to on this paper. It doesn't look that great, which is the Khadi paper. Right, so that's the red I'm including, And as for the pink, let's quickly go back into the pinks. Okay, so here is that pink again, so quinacridone and red, so that's happening. And then that brings it up to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 colors, and I'm not putting them in order yet. On top of that, I know, having swatched the couple just now, Sodalite Genuine right here, so this one I definitely want to include that one. It's beautiful and it's also very granulating. Payne's Grey, definitely need that color. I cannot be without Payne's Grey, so I'll throw that in. Now thinking about these palettes, as I said before, I wasn't thinking of them, but I know the colors that I would use a lot are actually these three, which I already included. And then from this palette, I really wanted to also include the Gold Deep and some sort of a sub-green, which I haven't really decided what sub-green, but I definitely will need that. So the green gold is almost finished, so I'll need to buy more when I come back. And then I might as well just use that sub-green. I do need a sub-green, so that's that. Now that leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 10, 11. So I've got 9 more spaces to fill with colors that would kind of make things a little bit more interesting for me. And let's have a look. I think lavender is a nice color to include. And what else? Lavender and gold. I think I will pack a gold with me. And what about Mars Black? Mars Black and gold. Okay, so that's, let's do gold here. Parylene green. I have to have Parylene green with me. So Parylene green and Mars Black. Okay, and I haven't done any blues so far. I think lavender I wanted to include. I do need something from the blues. There are a couple of colors that I want to order from Jackson's just before I'm leaving, so I might end up doing those then. So let's have a look. Okay, so far I have 15 colors here, and I think I will leave the 5 colors that I will then adjust to the palette. So first of all, rather than picking too many, I think I'll go with these 15. I will swatch them out, and the next thing I will do is order those couple of colors that I want, and then decide what I want to include them in this summer's palette. And then from there I will see what I have any more spaces left and what I'd like to fill in there and what's perhaps missing in this palette. So when I'm putting these colors together, I'm predominantly thinking of flowers. I feel like I want to do flowers this summer. Not sure if I will be doing any faces, but if I want to do any faces, I do have that possibility here with these colors. So I might want to add one more color for mixing skin tones. But that's under question mark for now. Let's swatch out these and see where we are. Alright, so here I am. I've got 8 colors on my top row and 7 colors at the bottom. And I figured out a way of how to minimize squeezing out too much pigment. And that is just going in with this little tip of this spatula inside the tube and then making sure it's all clean in between. Now I'm going to start doing the swatches. So let's see. So this first one is Schmincke Lemon Yellow. So I'm just going to wake up the color a little bit just because I've done it with a spatula, so that means it was very thin and the color has dried up already. So that's that one. And the next one I have Nickel Azo Yellow. Let me get my tissue next to me. I think I will have to finish filming this video in like on another day, because I definitely want to add those couple of colors to this palette that I want to order. And then I'm going to do this one, which is Quinacridone Deep Gold. It's a beautiful color. It has a wide range of tone as well. As you can see, I can pull it out to something very light, or I can keep it really deep. This one, Transparent Red Oxide, is stunning color. If you're not into neutrals, try this color. You might fall in love with it. So, same thing here. I can see my battery is blinking, so I'm going to finish off these and come back just in case, so I don't lose the footage. Alright, so I swatched all of them out, and here is what I have. So basically, looking at the color arrangement here, I realized there are a couple of colors missing, and that's the best thing to do, is first pick, kind of grow them to a certain number, and then when you're not sure, just leave it, and then you will see what gaps you need to fill. So this Daniel Smith Rich Green Gold is a pretty color, but I haven't used much of it, and I really want to use it. However, although I can squeeze inside and I can feel movement, so it doesn't feel fully dry, I can't squeeze anything out. There's really dried up pigment in here, so I will see whether I can cut open the tube and basically squeeze out whatever I can into the palette, and that way make sure to use it before it goes off. But I haven't had this happen to me before. This isn't that old, it's only a couple of years old, this little tube, so not sure why it happened to it, but anyway. And then I also realized I want something of this nature, and I didn't want to use the phthalo green because it tends to be quite staining. I think this one was designed to be the non-staining version, if I'm not mistaken. So anyways, this color mixes beautifully with Perylene Green or any of the dark colors. As you can see, I have a nice range here of moody dark colors, ranging from Perylene Green, Payne's Grey, Sodalite Genuine, and even Mars Black, which is so these two are very granulating, and they would be great to mix with other colors to create that granulation. So basically I have 3 more spaces to fill, and what I will do is I will order those few watercolors that I want to add to my collection this summer, and then I will decide whether I want to substitute them with the couple of the colors from here, or whether I just want to add those 3, and that is it. So I will do another part of the video where I am then updating this and finalizing the palette, but this is it for today. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.